Good morning and namaskar. I am Gagan Kapoor and I'm a marketing consultant from Go for Growth Consulting. And today I want to talk about managing your lead stages. A lot of business owners where I interact with face a challenge that they do not really understand the stages and segmentation of these leads, and as a result, they are not sure how to really communicate with them. In fact, they start thinking and sending similar communications to all of these customers or prospects or leads, and then think why this is not really working out. Well, there are five different stages of a lead or a customer, and each one of them have to be communicated separately. So today, let's understand what are these five leads or five kinds of leads. Number one is prospects. First of all, a person who is yet to be aware about you, they don't know you yet, you don't know them yet, or you know them but you haven't been in touch with them as yet, is someone who is called as prospects. They are still your desirable companies you want to be in touch with. Now, what kind of communication is required with them? You need to communicate something which makes them aware about your business so that some of them actually raise their hands and they say, yes, I am interested. This is something what we call it as a prospect. Now, the second stage is what we call it as the marketing qualified leads. Now, when I say marketing qualified leads, and I just briefly spoke about people who raise their hands and say, I am interested because they resonated with your communication. They have a need about your product or need of your service. Now, these people are what we call it as the marketing qualified leads, which means they are now aware about you, but they are yet to ask you for a quotation or a pricing. They want to first be sure whether you are the kind of company which can be dealt with, you are credible enough a company so that I can ask you for a quotation. So at times, a lot of times rather, it happens that many people get in touch with you, they at least get to know about your product or a service. They have shown a bit of an interest, but they haven't really asked for a quotation. These are the companies whom we call it as the MQLs or marketing qualified leads. Now, out of these marketing qualified leads, we have to graduate some people through our communication, through constant communication, to the next stage, which is the stage number 3, what we call it as the SQLs or sales qualified leads. Now, these are the people whom, out of first knowing you, have asked for a quotation from you, whether it's for your product or it's for a service. So if they ask for a quotation and you've quoted them, that's when they qualify to be in the third step, which is the sales qualified leads, ask for a quotation. Now, the communication to these set of people whom you've already quoted has to be very, very different again, because now that they know about your prices, they need to get enough confidence from you. They need to get enough confidence from the customers you've worked with, which means you have to share a lot of your testimonials. You have to also share a lot of things which can make you credible. Once you do that, some of these customers, if you are lucky, all of them, but it usually doesn't happen, some of these people, some of these SQLs will again raise their hand and say, okay, you know what? Let's talk about price. Let's talk about discussions. Let's talk about the technique or the technology, which practically means that they are interested to engage with you. You've already crossed that trust hurdle from them. They are interested to engage with you, but they are still holding on, probably negotiating with you or understand the technology. These are the people whom we call it as the hot leads. This is the stage number 4, where they have shown further interest from just taking quotations. Hot leads is the name where you actually segment that at that level. Now, this is the stage, the hot leads is where you have to be really up on your toes in making sure that you are trying to sort out every single objection which the prospect at this stage has from your products or services, right? The objections could be around the price, the objection could be about your product, the objection could be around quality or delivery timelines for that matter. Whatever may be the objection, you should be ready to answer them. In fact, you can actually do that from a lot of communication which you can already create and provide it to them. A lot of objections are also cleared out when they hear similar kind of testimonials from the potential customers or your past customers for that matter. And the last stage is the customers. Now, out of these hot leads, if some of them are now very clear that you are the right company to work with, they will now say, yes, I am willing to sign the dotted line and we are willing to give you the contract. These are the people who are what we call it as, or they become our customers. Right now, to them, there of course is a different level of communication which is required, which means we need to up the level of service. You are constantly talking about how you are going to bring an excellence in the delivery process, because the whole process doesn't stop there. You know that these are the people who now are firm believers in your product or service. They are going to experience your product and service, so they better do it in the most emphatic manner. And once they do it, what are they going to do? They are going to take you to the next step, which is actually referring you to their contact sphere, their clients, their vendors, their customers, their friends, and their family. So your communication just doesn't stop when somebody becomes a customer. Your relationship begins with them by delivering a wonderful service to them. And then you have to take it to the next level by making sure that that level of service instigates more and more referrals for you from these particular customers. And that now that they are firm believers and lifelong partners for you. This is the next level of communication which is required with the customers. Now, a lot of us feel that, okay, these are the 5 people. Today I spoke about prospects, then I spoke about marketing qualified leads, I spoke about sales qualified leads, then I spoke about hot leads, and the 5th one was customers, right? Now there is one more stage. Now, as a person, what you need to do, as a business, what you need to do is to constantly keep looking at your customers list. You also need to take out a list, what we call it as the list of dormant customers. Who are these customers who haven't really been in touch with you, or you haven't been in touch with them, and they haven't given you the business in a long time, or they haven't referred you in a long time, right? Now, this is a list which you need to separately address. You need to separately really reach out to them and see how can you really rekindle some of the relationships. Let me tell you, just looking at the list and talking to some of them has proven to give some amazing results and more referrals and more business to the businesses. So my request to you is kindly follow these 5 lead stages, communicate the leads accordingly. Every lead stage requires a different set of communication. So whether you're doing a WhatsApp communication, or you're doing an email communication, or you are presenting to them personally, make sure that your communication stage, the lead stage, is well taken care in the whole process. I hope this particular video was useful for you. Have a very good day. Thank you so much.